We're getting some breaking news. Prime Minister Modi will address the nation today at 5 p.m. This is the big breaking news that we are getting at this point, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be addressing the nation today at 5 p.m. Remember, we are also given to understand that from tomorrow the GST 2.0 is also going to be coming into the action. So Prime Minister Modi is going to address today at 5 p.m. Let's get more information on this. Aman Sharma is back with us. Aman, Prime Minister will be addressing the nation today. What we can expect from this address?
Well, Arun, yes, the Prime Minister will be addressing the nation at 5 p.m. today. Very important address. It's expected to be, the last time the PM addressed the nation was after Operation Sindoor, a few months back, when he had detailed to the country what steps India had taken against Pakistan and how India had given a fitting reply to Pakistan after the Pahalgam terror attack. So today's address to the nation is coming after that particular address a few months ago. We really can't speculate, Arun, what the Prime Minister is going to speak about. We don't know that. But, obviously the big thing which is happening tomorrow is the pan-country GST cut rollout, on all major items, household items, cars, every nearly 400 items of daily use for the common people and the middle class. The GST rates cut is going to get implemented from tomorrow on the first day of Navratri. So the auspicious Navratri, days are beginning tomorrow, and the Prime Minister's address coming just on the eve of it today at 5 p.m. when the Prime Minister will be speaking to the nation becomes extremely significant. In his recent addresses, and in various rallies across the country, the Prime Minister has said that the GST rollout is one of the most important reforms since independence. He has said that it is a big, big gift to the common people and the middle class. And the Prime Minister has been saying that once this rollout happens, spending will increase, people will have more money in their pocket to spend, so there will be no loss of incomes. And this is a step which is being taken by the government for the benefit of the middle class, which has for long been demanding some reforms in the GST process. In fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been imploring Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, as she herself said, for several months to do this GST cut. So it could be expected. We can't really speculate on the one the Prime Minister will speak about, but his address coming at 5 p.m. today, just ahead of the day ahead of this big GST cut rollout happening in the country, has everyone now anticipating what the Prime Minister wants to tell the people of the country.
And Aman, there has always been a suspense around this whenever Prime Minister Modi addresses to the nation. As you were discussing about, of course, the GST rollout today, and also importantly, Navratri is beginning. And Prime Minister, we have seen even in the past that he has been on fasting during this entire period during the Navratri time. Anything that you can talk to us, any source-based information that you are picking up as to what is going to be the speech of Prime Minister Modi, anything that you can share?
Well, Arun, it is very, very difficult to actually predict, what the Prime Minister is going to say. You also know that as good as me. But, I think as I can see that, that this address coming just ahead of the GST rollout, maybe the Prime Minister may touch upon that. I feel that, but, I can't be for sure because nobody really knows, this is a very secretive thing of what the Prime Minister is going to say. But as I was saying, in the recent addresses that the Prime Minister has made, in various parts of the country, including just yesterday in Gujarat, the Prime Minister has been stressing on the issue of Atmanirbharta. He's been clearly saying that India will only become a developed nation by 2047 if we stop depending on foreign countries, if we increase our own self-sufficiency. And in that context, the GST rollout, which has been, which is going to happen from tomorrow, which was a cabinet decision taken a couple of weeks back, is a major, step in that regard, because this aims to increase the spending in the country, consumption in the country. This aims to fasten our economic growth because India is already the fourth largest economy in the world. We want to rise further to the third largest economy in the next couple of years, overtake Japan. And that is why the reason is that, India has been pushing ahead on a lot of reforms which concern India's domestic sector as well. We have all seen how the 50% tariffs have come in from the US, and India has repeatedly been speaking about that. To be immune from such steps taken by other foreign governments, we have to build our own strength, our own self-sufficiency. So I think the GST reforms, which Amit Shah in this interview to Mr. Rahul Joshi, our editor-in-chief, also said, is one of the biggest reforms which has happened since independence. And this is going to ease the lives of the common man, make every household item, cheaper, from your rations will be cheaper, your agriculture equipment will be cheaper, vehicles will be cheaper. It's an aspirational step for people to come out and, buy bigger things because they can afford it now. So I think the Prime Minister's address, if it touches upon all of these things regarding the GST rollout, could be a perfect gift, ahead of the actual rollout happening tomorrow on the first day of Navratri.
Yeah, this could be a perfect gift. Aman, stay with us. We also have Payal Mehta on this story to elucidate more on this. Payal, as Aman was also highlighting on this fact that it is very difficult to really predict what Prime Minister Modi is going to speak. But what your sources are telling us about this Prime Minister Modi's address? What is going to be part of this?
It is not just very difficult, it is impossible to gauge the Prime Minister's mind and the Prime Minister's steps as well. Arun, you know this as good as anybody else. As you know, Aman and I have just been pointing out that the Prime Minister, of course, has always taken the nation into confidence whenever he's made any big announcement. The government is going to roll out the new GST 2.0 reforms from tomorrow. What is in it for the common man, what it means for them, for simple food items to everyday items to aspirational areas being covered. The Prime Minister probably would want to delve on that in the wake of the upcoming, festive season. Tomorrow is when the Navratras also begin. The Prime Minister is an upasak of Ma Durga. He is, of course, a devotee of Ma Durga. And he fasts in all the Navratras, just probably has one fruit and probably a glass of warm water with lime is what we're given to understand. But, what these reforms mean for India, in particular, given the fact that the Prime Minister, even in the training program that he held for the BJP leaders, he had in fact said that Atmanirbharta is going to be the key. And when he addressed the NDA leaders, he also harped upon the point that, Swadeshi movement needs to get a big, fillip as far as the country is really concerned. Therefore, last night, Arun, when the BJP National President, Mr. JP Nadda, held a meeting with all the BJP members of parliament from both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, he asked them to carry out a Swachhta Mela program right from the first day to the last day of Navratra, because largely that is when people are out and about. They do their shopping in the run-up to the Dashera, which is, of course, a big event across the entire country. People celebrate it with big vigor. How that can actually mean as well. And the Prime Minister has asked all the NDA MPs to participate in that, hold these Swadeshi Melas as well and promote Atmanirbharta.
Stay with us, Payal. We also have Pallavi Ghosh on the phone line. Pallavi, as Aman and Payal were highlighting that it could be on the GST rollout, but as we know that it is impossible to really gauge what Prime Minister Modi is going to speak. Anything that you can share on this?
Well, one would have hazarded a guess, but yes, a high possibility that he's going to speak on GST. See, he's chosen the day, if I may say so, also very, very significantly. Today actually is the first day, and you saw the Prime Minister wishing all Bengalis a happy Mohalaya. It's actually the beginning of the Shubho Bengal Durga Pujo time. As far as West Bengal is concerned, it's also going to be a day ahead of the Navratris, which begin tomorrow. And it's also, of course, going to be a big day. It's a festive mood also in the markets, in the economy, because there's a lot of looking forward to as far as the rollout of the new rate rationalization or GST 2.0, which is being called upon. So there are multiple points and expectations coming in from this new tax or rate rationalization of the GST. One, it's going to give us spurts to the demand and supply process. Second, products will become much, much cheaper, especially for the middle class, the people who really matter, which the Prime Minister keeps on talking about. And whether it is going to lead to an industrial spurt growth and send out message to the world, we believe in self-reliance, Atmanirbhar, we believe in Swadeshi, but at the same time, India is an attractive destination as far as foreign investment is concerned. Just a few days back, we saw the release of the new iPhone 17 and also Made in India stamp on it. That's also a larger messaging to the world, that Indian expertise caliber is high grade, and we can show this picture to the world as well. On one hand, becoming self-reliant, Swadeshi, but on the other hand, we are very, very attractive. All our growth parameters, or whether they are the Moody's, S&P ratings, BBB+, these are very, very important benchmarks. It talks about political, economic stability. It talks about a positive look ahead. I wouldn't be too surprised without hazarding a guess at what the PM is going to say in his address to the nation at 5 p.m. But I think he would very much want to focus on the fact that India's economy is on right track, and GST 2.0 is just going to be one of the many reforms which the government is bringing in that direction.
And Pallavi, if I may ask you, you've been on the ground, you've been speaking to people about this new GST rollout. What is the sense that you're getting from the people?
The focus of GST rollout is on products which are largely used two ways. One for the middle class. Look at the kind of products which are going to become cheaper. things like many the dairy products. There are going to be, of course, food items, dals, grocery items, even simple things like pencils, stationery, health factor. Those are going to become much, much cheaper. And of course, sales of automobiles and all of that is going to be very carefully monitored from tomorrow onwards. All of these are very important. The focus is very clear on the middle class, on the common man. On the ground, of course, there's a look ahead. I think for the next 6 months, there is going to be a monitoring to see from tomorrow onwards, in fact. The finance ministry is going to closely monitor. There are multiple committees which have been set up on the ground, which is going to monitor what kind of sales are taking place, whether the benefits of GST 2.0 are going to a real people, which is to the consumers. The benefits of it should not go only to the manufacturers. The manufacturers need to ensure it passes on to the consumers. And on the ground, that is the sentiment that, we are going to hold on and we are going to start purchasing many of our aspirational products. People who were earlier, for example, thinking of buying only a two-wheeler would now go in for a four-wheeler, for a car, a smaller variety of car, which means a lower GST. Many of the products have begun to slash their prices. Maruti, for example, already has a road. So this is the feel-good sentiment on the ground, and what are the sales from tomorrow onwards is going to be a very, very integration into the minds of the people.
Make informed decisions with comprehensive analysis on the go.
Strengthen your portfolio with real-time market updates on the go. Create effective strategies with insightful expert opinions on the go.
Grow on the go with CNBC-TV18, now streaming live 24/7 on YouTube.
Hey, thank you for watching this on CNBC TV18. Hope you liked it. For more such interesting news and updates, follow CNBC TV18 on all the social media platforms.